Support for the show, FYF Sports, is brought to you by Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all of your below-the-waist grooming needs. Get 20% off and free shipping with coupon code FYFCREW at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code FYFCREW. Your balls will thank you.
Talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. I be getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking Ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch your cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. All know, shop don't close, working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show. Couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is.
And that started right from the opening tip. So, Steph obviously doesn't normally show a lot of emotion, but a night like tonight warranted it.
Tim in the back.
Steve, obviously you don't normally take Draymond out in the middle of the fourth quarter of a game like this. What was the thinking of that? Did you see his reaction after, which was pretty emotional? And was it strictly to go offense defense? Because he was out for a while, but then you went offense defense with him and Poole.
Yeah, so we took him out and put Loon in, I think around the 8-minute mark, maybe 7:40, and which was our plan anyway. But Loon was playing so well, and Jordan Poole was playing so well, so we just stayed with the group. We generally do that. I mean, like most coaches, if you've got a group that's going well, you just stay with it, and then the last few minutes we just went to kind of an offense defense pattern with Draymond and Jordan alternating.
Anthony on the right.
Yeah, Anthony Slater, The Athletic. Wiggins plays 44 minutes. I think he gets 16 rebounds. Just how big was he tonight?
Wiggs was fantastic. I mean, to go against Boston, you've got to deal with Tatum and Brown, and they're just powerful, skilled players, great size. They're coming downhill at you constantly. And so we have to have Wiggs out there. And I thought he was great defensively. Obviously, 16 rebounds, career high, and plus 20 on the night. So we needed every bit of Wiggs's contributions.
Marcus.
Marcus Thompson, The Athletic. Steve, how you've stuck to your guns for years now about keeping Steph's minutes down and not playing him a lot. How much gangster did you have to summon to sit him to start the fourth quarter?
Yeah, he was not happy, but I felt pretty good about where we were. The other night he played the whole fourth, and I didn't love the way that quarter went. Not because of how he played, but I think we were in a pretty good spot, and to buy him a few minutes in the fourth quarter to start, I think. To me was important, but you never know how it all plays out. You just kind of go with your gut.
CJ on the left here.
CJ Holmes, San Francisco Chronicle. Steve, from a rebounding perspective, the game flipped completely when you put Loon into the game early in the first quarter. How important is he to what this team does on the glass?
Yeah, Loon is just crucial to everything we do. He's our best screener, our best rebounder. One of our smartest players. He's always in the right spot. He made, I thought, the biggest bucket of the game when after Horford made the three from the corner. Draymond made the pass out of the pocket to Loon. He finished with that left hand. So Loon has just grown leaps and bounds. This year he's been really good for us over the years, but this year in particular, he's taken a leap. To a point where he's just irreplaceable for us, and he's played in every game, and he's a guy we count on. I didn't play him enough in Game 3. That was my mistake. So it was important to get him out there, and he had a huge impact on the game.
Malika on the left.
Hey, Steve, for 26 consecutive series dating back to 2013, predating you, the Warriors have found a way to win on the road in every single series. What is it about this group, the resolve, the constants that allow that to happen?
Well, you have a group of guys who are going to be in the Hall of Fame someday. Steph, Clay, Draymond. These guys are the constant. They've been here together throughout that span. So they're not only gifted, but they're incredibly competitive, and that's what it takes to win on the road. You have to summon that kind of will and intensity and passion, and those guys have that.
Question in the back.
Hello, hi, Tal Ben Ezra, Haaretz newspaper from Israel. What will be your main focus heading to Game 5?
Well, I think the whole focus has to be our energy and our force. It's obvious tonight how much more alert we were, how much more force we played with, and they completely outplayed us in Game 3 from that standpoint. Series is now 2-2. I would expect both teams to bring every ounce of energy and emotion the rest of the way.
Last question from David.
David Aldrich with The Athletic. Steve, your group's been around a long time. You've been with them and they've been with you, and I know they trust you. But how is there any kind of do you have to say anything to a guy like Draymond in a situation like that? He knows that, maybe he wasn't playing great and Looney was playing better. Is there any part of you that has to explain that to him in that situation, or do you just trust that he
You
understands?
mean where I took him out?
Yes. Yes.
No. I don't ever want our players to be happy, if I take them out. Draymond is incredibly competitive. I didn't see, I think Tim mentioned a reaction. I didn't see any reaction, but he's the ultimate competitor. Came back in, made huge plays down the stretch. He finishes the game with 4 steals, 8 assists, 9 boards. Look, this is a tough series for him to score because of Boston's size and athleticism, but he's still impacting the game at a huge level. And he knows we're just going to do whatever it takes to win. We got a lot of guys who can contribute. A lot of guys did that tonight, and we got it done. And whatever it takes in Game 5, that's what we'll do too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Brian Rob, Mass Life. Ema, offensively in those last 5-6 minutes, what did you kind of see from you guys there? And what's the latest with Rob? It looks like he was probably there on his leg. Did you think about calling time out there to kind of get him out of the game sooner when it looked like he was hurting?
Offensively, stalled out a little bit. We got some good looks from 3. But, other than the one that Al made, I wouldn't say we got stagnant. We did get some good shots off, but we'd like to get a little more downhill and get some things to the rim and then kickouts. Credit to them. They stepped up defensively when it counted, but our offense wasn't as sharp as it needed to be, no doubt. And regarding Rob, I didn't see anything with Rob and haven't heard anything.
Gary Washburn, second row in the middle.
Gary Washburn, Boston Globe. Ema, it just seemed like all night the offense was stagnant. I mean, guys are standing around. They was kind of looking at each other. What happened throughout the game that you guys are not able to run a cohesive offense?
We had plenty of opportunities, obviously. Every time we got a 5-6 point lead, it felt like we made some poor decisions, whether it was rush shots in traffic or, to your point, standing around looking at each other a little bit there. And so not sure if we tried to pick on mismatches too much. It got stalled out a little bit, but when we did run off-ball actions and got some movement, we got really good looks. And so we want to get the ball up quick and get into an offense. If we don't have anything, still make them work the clock. And a lot of times it felt like we were standing around unsure of who we were trying to go after, and led to those stalled out possessions.
On the left side, third row.
By Manning, CLNS Media. Defensively down the stretch there, what did you just see about the way you were playing the screens, and what led to some of the offensive rebounds and shots the Warriors were able to get off there?
And we started switching a little bit more, take away the threes, and got them off the line, and then that obviously presents some cross matches there. And in general, it wasn't even the bigs on smalls; it was more Wiggins crashing from the wing, and they got some extra possessions as far as that. So, like I said, defensively, other than the late free throws, we guarded well enough to win, even though Curry kind of got loose, and our offense wasn't as good as it needed to be, and that aided them on defense. But credit to them, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. They were going to come in and lay down, and we had our opportunities, especially in the first half.
On the right side, third row.
John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. What are you seeing from Tatum with his struggles at the rim in the paint?
At times looking for fouls. They are a team that loads up, and certain games he's finding the outlets, certain shooting over 2-3 guys. And so that's the balance of being aggressive and picking your spots and doing what he's done in previous games, which is kicked it out and got guys wide open looks. So that's the ongoing theme, so to speak, him getting the basket and being a scorer as well as a playmaker. And they do a good job with their rotations, but sometimes hunting fouls instead of going to finish. I've seen that in a few games so far.
On the right side, fourth row, Mark Murphy.
Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. Ema, you talked about Steph getting loose a little bit, but sometimes is that just his shot making? You guys are doing what you can do to stop him?
Yeah, at times we're, obviously focused on him and keeping others in check, but some of those were some crazy shots that were highly contested that he made. You look at the overall numbers, the attempts, getting those off is a number we don't like, the 14 attempts in general. He came out bombing early at 9 in the first half, but, some of the threes he hit were highly contested, and you can't do anything about those. But when we did switch, it kind of got some cross matches and guys on the rim and went after him a little bit later, and they made some plays.
On the left side, first row, Adam Himmelsbeck.
A lot of times this, could feel pretty damaging. Now you're down to 3-game series, 2 there, but the way you guys have played on the road, I'm sure it gives you confidence. What was kind of the message afterwards and moving forward?
Had our opportunities tonight, especially when we did have a 5-6 point lead. It felt like we didn't have our best possessions and kind of let them back in the game, whether it was turnovers or poor offense. And it's gone along with our season, and especially this postseason. We had to do it the difficult way and have been battle tested, throughout some series, Milwaukee, Miami, and have to do it again. And so could have been an easier road, obviously, if you get the win tonight, but it is what it is, and we're 2-2 now, and we know we can do it. We've done it before, and keep your head up, and let's go get one on the road.
Second row in the middle, Gary.
Is there anything you can do to get Tatum better shots? It seems like he's either attacking lots of traffic or trying to take contested threes. He was 2 for 9 in the second half. It just seems like he's really pressing.
Yeah, what I would say is don't be opposed to taking twos, some pull-up jumpers and some of those things instead of going all the way to the rim. And so it doesn't have to be either or as far as that. And then, but we talked about the balance and how much we rely on him to score and get other guys involved. And sometimes that balance leads to taking some shots or over penetrating when he has a clean pull-up or two. So, it's nothing wrong with the floater mid-range pull-up to get yourself going, especially when the crowd is sitting there at the rim.
We'll take 2 more questions for Coach. Fourth row on the right.
John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. Ema, you talk about not taking the easy way, not doing it always doing it the hard way. Is there some element of playing with fire here, like constantly not doing this, the getting yourself into a position to go up 3-1 here? Just going back to Golden State with their history, with their experience, 2 games there. I mean, that's got to be a little bit different than the past battle tested that you guys have been.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to take the easier route, and we had our chances, like I said, but it's not only solely dependent on one team. It's obviously a championship caliber opponent that isn't going to lay down and made some tough shots, but also guarded well at the end. And so, as much as we'd like to do better in our own, you got to give them credit for how they stepped up defensively. And, Miami is a team that we went and did it against. And so we've proven we can do it, and being down 2 games, 2 elimination games in Milwaukee. So it's proof that we can do it. And then the opponent is what it is. It's really a lot to do with us. And that's how we feel about the game tonight for sure.
Last question for Coach. On the right side, third row. Left side, third row.
Ema, I know you're not as concerned with the defense, but the big men just around some of those screens, they're playing low sometimes. Do you think you need to adjust that at all, just based off the shots Curry's getting right now?
Yeah, we have, and it's not, it's not a stagnant offense that they run, and where they're just sitting back and obviously have some movement prior to it and some off-ball actions that, get our guys off the big some. So we do want to be up much more. And at times, especially on the handbacks and certain actions, it's a little different than a regular static pick and roll.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
First question for Clay. We'll go to Marcus in the back.
Marcus Thompson, The Athletic. Clay, have you seen Steph play with or show that amount of emotion before? And what did you see from how he took over this game?
I think I have seen him show that much emotion, and the heart on that man is incredible. The things he does, we kind of take for granted from time to time, but to go out there and put us on his back, and I mean, we got to help him out on Monday. So wow, just showed why he is shocking. He wasn't a first team All NBA guy, but whatever. Next year.
Another question in the back.
Hi, Tal from Haaretz newspaper in Israel. Marcus Smart made a huge 3-point shot on the buzzer in the 4th quarter, and then you responded with a 3-pointer, Steph as well. Can you take me back to these moments? What made you change the game like that?
I got some great looks all night, and come playoff time, especially in the finals, it's hard to get good looks. Teams are going to blanket us. So when you get that little, space. You got to let it fly. Been in this league too long to ever doubt myself, especially in the highest pressurized moments. You just got to let that thing go and trust your work, trust your touch. And luckily, I made them when they counted. Still thinking about that one I missed on the left wing. Great pass from Andrew, but luckily I got Draymond who made an incredible rebound, and I'll make it on Monday.
From Kendra here up front.
Kendra Andrews, ESPN. You said sometimes maybe you take what Steph does for granted. You played a lot of finals games next to him. Where would you kind of put this in his finals performance resume?
Yeah, I think probably number one. I mean, this was nearly a must-win game, and to go out there and shoot as efficiently as he did, and grab 10 rebounds, and they're attacking him on defense. I mean, his conditioning is second to none in this league. So Steph played incredible.
Sam in the back.
Sam Amick, The Athletic. Clay, you mentioned that you guys need to help Steph on Monday, and I wonder as this game goes on and he's on fire, he keeps going. What is going through your head, not just for you, but as Jordan tries to find his rhythm, Wiggs, is there a conversation about that? Like, we got to help him here?
Not really. Just stay shot ready, and when a guy's on a roll like that, you just get out of his way, space the floor, and be ready to shoot if the ball finds you. So we've all played in this league for a long time, except for JP, that we know that the ball will find you if you just continue to do the little things. That's play defense, box out, and just be resilient.
Anthony on the right.
What did kind of the other guys give you tonight? Poole, Wiggins, and Looney.
Well, Loon was a plus 21. His rebounding was incredible. I mean, Andrew double, like 17 and 16, and the defense he played on Tatum. And then JP, wow, like the poise he's been playing with as a 22-year-old throughout these whole playoffs is just amazing. And I go down the line, GP, it's so good to have him back. He's always been a special performer. And then Draymond, who might not have had his best game, but made huge plays there at the end, huge rebounds and huge stops. And it doesn't matter how you shoot the ball, what your numbers say. And the only thing that really matters right now is getting that win. And Steve always reminds us that it doesn't matter who plays. As long as you win the series in the long run, no one's going to talk about your individual performance as much.
Last couple of questions for Clay. We'll go with Vince on the left.
Vince Goodboy, Yahoo Sports. Clay, early in the fourth quarter, I think Jalen Brown had a couple of runouts. You guys had a couple of turnovers. You took a timeout. You're down 4. It looked like the game was starting to get away from you, and you guys were grouped. What happened over the course of that next 5 or 6 minutes?
We just play great defense, and when we do that, our offense is so great, and we got so many great scorers that the ball's eventually going to find the bottom of the net. So it was just a gutsy win. That was a ton of fun, believe it or not, no matter how queasy the fans might get or emotional they might get. It was to be out there and competing at this stage, like, wow, I can't believe I'm here, especially considering where I was at this time last year. I wasn't even jogging yet. Now I'm out here just battling in the finals. This is great. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of these next couple games or 3 games, whatever it's going to be.
Last question on the left to Malika.
Malika Andrews, ESPN. As you're out there and enjoying it, bouncing back after a loss hasn't plagued you guys in this series, in these playoffs, but continuing to string together wins after a win, that's been a little bit more difficult. What is it that you need to bottle up, to cling to embrace in order to do that?
Well, we have reestablished home court again. We can't look ahead. We got to play with that same force in the fourth quarter that we did. Bring that Monday. And it's going to be rocking there in Chase Center. I can't wait to see our fans. I know they're excited. I know it was rocking in there tonight. So we can't look ahead. Just be present and embrace your off day, but then get some good work Sunday. And then when Monday comes, just live in the moment, because you don't do yourself any good if you're looking ahead to game 6 or 7 or a championship. You just got to embrace these moments. It's special to be one of the last 2 teams playing, and I know we're all going to bring it Monday. We're so excited. This was a special night for Dub Nation.
Thanks, Clay.
No problem.
First question for Jordan. Start up here.
Hey, Jordan. Shaney on Ford Sports. Clay was just saying the poise you've been playing with as a 22-year-old in these playoffs has been amazing. What does it mean for you to have all the veterans have that confidence in you to come out there and make plays like that?
It feels amazing being able just to have the players, the staff allow me to just go out there and play my game and trust that I'm gonna put my teammates in the best position, in the best position for us to win. But credit to them too, just because I'm asking so many questions and they're giving me answers and it's translating. So I'm thankful to be in a position with these guys and learn as much as I can.
Monty on the left.
Jordan, aside from the 43 and 10, what do you think of Steph's performance and impact tonight?
It's huge. We wouldn't have won without him. And I mean, I don't even know if you can say besides 43 and 10, because 43 and 10 is crazy, especially in the NBA Finals. So he's our leader, and that's what he does. So huge game by him, and we needed that.
Question from Anthony in the back.
What do you think allowed you to be more effective offensively tonight?
I was just being more aggressive, looking for my shot more. Was trying to find a balance between getting other guys easy looks, because I know that they were paying a lot of attention to me and I was drawing a lot of attention. But tonight, just going out there, being more aggressive, and then taking the shots that the defense gives me.
Tim, back left.
Yeah, Tim Calcom, The Athletic. What was it like going kind of offense, defense with Draymond subbing in, subbing out, and yet being able to maintain some success while you're doing it? Was it easy to get in that kind of rhythm? Was it tough?
I mean, it was later in the game, the last couple minutes or so, 3 minutes, I think. So just being prepared, staying ready. Good decision by the coaches. We trust the decisions that they make. So being able to have the talent to do the offense defense thing and for it to work was huge for us.
Another question on the left.
Hey, Jordan, Charlotte Wilder, Fox Sports. You said that you're asking so many questions and your teammates are translating for you. What do you think is the biggest thing that they've imparted to you, given their experience? And what do you think is your most important question to them?
Oh, like on the court or just in general?
Yeah, or about the whole experiences emotionally too.
There are a lot of different adjustments, and the details are pretty important. So tendencies, I think, are huge. Being able to lock in as much as possible and really try to know your opponent to the T, and also being able to ask the guys when I'm not in the game what they see when I'm out there, just because you're looking at it from a different perspective. So being able to have Andre, Loon, Steph, Clay, Draymond just tell me how they're guarding or how they're chasing or what they see is open. So being able to come over, look at that on the film, and apply that to the game, along with a lot of other things, is huge.
Any final questions for Jordan? Sam, we'll go to you.
You're almost out of here, brother. Sam Amick, The Athletic. Clay mentioned that on Monday you guys need to get Steph a little bit more help. And you've seen plenty of huge games from him, but I wonder on this stage, with as well as he was playing, do you find yourself on the court reacting at all to, how great he is, and then also telling yourself, like, we've got to find a way to get him some help here?
I mean, I've been thinking that every time I step out on the court, just because he's a spectacular player and he does amazing stuff all the time. So, especially how dominant Clay, Wiggs, and being able just to throw myself in there to try to give him help by still being aggressive, but also still playing off of him is something that I think makes us special. And when all 3 of us, aside from Clay's being aggressive, I feel like we're a pretty hard team to stop. So when we're able to make shots, it makes it easier for him to get it going and continue to keep going, because we're just a threat off the ball as well.
Thanks, Jordan.
We'll start on the right side, fourth row, Mark Murphy.
And Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. Marcus, you guys talk about your resilience, especially when you're on the road following up a loss, but sometimes you run into trouble at home when you have a chance to double down on a win. What do you think happened tonight in that respect?
We just didn't execute late down the stretch. They went on a run early on in the third. We sustained it, made a run of our own, and after that, we just couldn't execute.
On the right side, third row.
For both of you, John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. What happens late in the games when the offense tends to slow down? It seems like earlier in the game, the offense is really popping. You guys are getting a lot of opportunities, but later it tends to just kind of slow down. You guys are getting shots later in the shot clock.
I think we just kind of got a little stagnant. Everybody just kind of standing around looking at whoever had the ball and trying. No player movement, no ball movement. We just got to do a better job executing down the stretch, and that's the difference in the game right there.
Gary Washburn, second row in the middle.
Marcus, there was like a play, maybe the second quarter, where you were dribbling, and like Derek said, everybody's looking at you, and you're looking at everybody to move. And I know you talked to Ema about that. How tough is it to kind of, when you kind of see that the offense isn't rolling, to kind of jumpstart it and get it going? Because it seemed like tonight you never quite got it. The offense never quite got going.
Yeah, like Derek said, we got ball watching the guy with the ball instead of just moving like we've been doing. And with the ball handler, it's kind of hard because you're trying to tell everybody to do something while, making sure you still see the play with the guy in front of you, and you've been taught to make a play. So for us is, we just got to move, plain and simple. If the ball gets stuck and you see it, just go screen somebody. But we have to move. We cannot let the ball get stagnant and let them load up on us.
On the left side, sixth row.
Hey guys, Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. What was the conversation in the locker room about what you guys are going to try to take out West again for Game 5?
Just be who we are. That's all we can do. Control what we control. Tonight's over. We got to turn around and get right back to a Monday. That's how we've been all year. We take a loss and we bounce back. So it's who we are. It's who we're going to continue to be. And it's a very important game on Monday.
In the first row, left side, Adam.
Marcus, what did you think about how you guys guarded Steph? Were some of these just kind of tipped your hat plays, or did you feel like maybe he wasn't feeling you like you needed to?
We were there. He's a great player. He made shots. He made a lot of the shots where we were contesting from behind. We had somebody there, and he was just making them. That's what he does. We obviously have to do a better job of limiting that. And we got to make it even more tougher for him. It is what it is, and we'll get another chance to do it again on Monday.
Left side, second row.
Ema mentioned he felt like you guys were trying to target mismatches a little too much and then got indecisive. Was that part of the game plan going in to look for those mismatches, or was it the Warriors defense that kind of forced you guys into those?
There's a fine line between both. The playoffs is all about hunting those matchups you want and then taking advantage of them. And sometimes you could go too much on that side, or sometimes you just need to just play. So just try to find that fine line of whether we need to hunt the mismatch or just drive, kick, make multiple attacks, stuff we talked about the whole year.
On the right side, seventh row.
This was the first game where you guys had to play all the way down into the depths of crunch time, and Steph was able to get a couple threes just off of transition. What is the next level of challenge where you have to continue to chase and just be aware when you're getting all the way down to the end of the game?
I think you just said it. You got to be aware, especially at the end. It's the one guy, you can't allow to beat you. Like I said, obviously he made a lot of tough shots tonight on us, but when you get a guy like that, some rhythm early on, those shots and then the basketball hoop starts to look a little bit bigger for him. So we just got to make it a conscious effort to find him and Clay and they're shooters, especially in transition.
On the right side, first row.
Brian Rob, Mass Live. It's a question for both of you guys on they really hurt you guys on the offensive glass. I think up to 19 second chance points. How much of that is just a byproduct of the scrambling on defense, or is there just things you guys have to kind of do better in terms of keeping them off the glass?
We just gotta find a way to get the rebound. Simple as that. Ball goes up, whoever's there, we just gotta find a way. I mean, last game that was us that did it, and this game was them that did it.
We'll take two more questions on the left side, second row.
Abby Chin again, NBC Sports Boston. Jason struggling to find his rhythm in this series. Do you guys, Marcus, are you talking to him, or is there anything you're saying to him?
Yeah, we all are. We just constantly, let them know, keep going. This isn't your first time being in a slump. Won't be the last time. You got to figure it out. We trust you. We believe in you, and this is what you made for. And Jason has to figure it out. We have to do a good job of helping him, but him being the player he is, these are the moments where he has to come alive and he has to figure it out, and he will. We don't know when that is, but we're sure it's going to happen soon, and we're ready for it, and we're here to back him up.
Last question. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
We'll go to Monty here.
What do you think of Steph tonight?
Incredible. Put us on his back, willed us to a win, much needed win. Game we had to have. Came out and showed why he's one of the best players to ever play this game. And why, this organization has been able to ride him to so much success. It's just absolutely incredible.
Marcus in the back.
Marcus Thompson, The Athletic. Draymond, when you see Steph shoot like that and play like that, everybody can witness that part. But what could you say about his toughness, against a defense like this, with his foot hobbled? What could you say about how resilient he is?
Same thing I've always said. Him was one of the most resilient, toughest guys that I ever played with. The way defenses guard him, they're constantly grabbing. And he just continues to play. He don't make much of it. He just continues to do what he does. So, it just says a lot about his toughness and his competitive nature and what it truly means to be a winner.
Tim on the right.
Draymond, what was your reaction were you surprised when you got taken out when you did in the fourth quarter? It looked like you were not thrilled by that. And how did you kind of go through the offense, defense kind of substituting it out at the end of the game?
Definitely never thrilled coming out of the game with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in a must-win game. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was thrilled. I'm a competitor. But at the end of the day, if that's what coach decides, then you roll with it. And, I had to keep my head in the game. And, whenever I went back in, try to make some plays. And so that was just my mindset. Don't make too much of it. I've always been of the on the bandwagon of, if you got something that's rolling, you stick with it. So it is what it is.
Dan in the middle.
Draymond, Dan Devine, The Ringer. You talked a lot the last couple of days about the importance of force, bringing it, being the leader of that charge. How do you feel that you did tonight? Obviously, the half-court defense was sensational, did a much better job of stretching out, getting into their spots. How do you feel like you did in terms of bringing that force?
I thought it was a lot better, and you could see that, in the numbers. You can see that with the eye test, however you want to shake it. So thought we played with a lot more force tonight, and, the team that has won. So, that's the key to this series.
Kendra up front.
Draymond, Clay was saying how sometimes maybe you guys take what Steph can do for granted and you guys really have to help him on Monday as he's put this team on his back. What do you see the team needing to do, and then you from an individual standpoint to help Steph?
I think, you as a team, you kind of do all you can to free him up. They're always throwing 2 or 3 bodies at him in a given possession, sometimes 4, so you just try to do what you can to help free him up, to get him to his spots, or to open up some space for him to create and get to his spots. And, for us, we just got to continue to fill in where we may. You got a shot, take it.
you're screening for him, screening for Clay, whoever it is, just doing all of that with force. I think if everybody's forceful on the offensive end, and that means cuts, that means crisp with your passes, you know, then you allow him to be in the position to do what he do.
Mark, back right.
Dre, and typically with Steph, his motion comes in the fourth quarter. And I don't know if you saw it, but early in the first, he made a couple shots and started screaming at the crowd for a timeout. Did you sense that he was going to have something special with that kind of motion early?
Yeah, he wasn't letting us lose. That's just what it boils down to. And, you hear all the noise for a day or so. And, I could tell in his demeanor last couple of days, even after game 3, that he was going to come out with that type of fire, and he did, and we were all able to follow it.
Another question on the right.
Yeah, what did you just think of Wiggins, Looney, and Poole and what they gave?
They all gave great minutes. I love JP's aggressiveness coming out. Like, he came out hunting his shot, and we needed that. Wiggs has done what he's done all playoffs. Make it tough for the opposing starter to score. Got in the teeth of the defense. Rebounded the hell out of the ball, which he's done all playoff long. And then Loon, just making those extra plays. Had some great finishes around the rim. Great rebounding. Great inside physical presence for us. All three of those guys, they've been big for us all playoff long, and they showed it again tonight.
Last couple of questions in the middle here.
Hey, Trey, as you said, they're swarming Steph on the perimeter, trying to run him off the line. How important for you are those 4-on-3 opportunities to try to get into the teeth of the defense and make a play? I saw you made one to Looney late in the game.
I mean, when they're throwing two guys at Steph, someone has to make the play. I've made a living off that, so that's what it boils down to at that point in the game. We always want to find Steph, as anybody, I think anybody would. If you're on his team, you're going to try to find him. He converts at a very high clip, and so, but in a time like that where they're throwing two guys at them and they're saying we're not going to let him beat us right now, somebody else have to make the play. And I was able to get a drop off to Loon on 2-on-1, and he had a great finish.
Final question, Chris in the back.
Chris Haynes, Yahoo Sports. Dre, you and some of the players been in similar situations to this in the finals, being down, having to regain home court advantage. What has been your message to the other guys and that haven't been here and getting prepared for this moment? Because you're going to have to come back here to Boston for Game 7.
Just understanding the force that we need to play with, the focus level that it takes to go on the road and win in a tough environment like this. And I think our young guys have been great. They've adjusted to everything that we've asked of them, and it shows. And we played 9 guys tonight. I think every guy who came in, had a good impact on the game for us. And so, just telling them to stay the course. Understand that teams like this, they come out, they punch you. Just got to stay the course, continue to chip away at it for 48 minutes, and if you put a solid 48 minutes together, give ourselves a chance to win.
Thanks, Draymond.
We'll start on left side, third row.
Joseph Pavone, CLNS Media. Al, in your opinion, what went wrong in that fourth quarter, specifically the scoring drought that you guys went through? What did you think was the main issue there?
Yeah, I felt like we took possessions for granted. I don't feel like we executed as well as we did the previous game. This is we really can't do that. So definitely need to be better there down the stretch. Just a little more locked in as a group.
On the right side, fifth row.
You guys had so many great defensive moments against Steph, but then you finally get to crunch time in the series for the first time, and he does what he did at the end there. Just how difficult is that challenge against him when you have to do it for a full 48 minutes?
A lot of credit to him. He was great tonight. I think you have to give him his credit when credit is due. Just really tough. And made plays for their team and put them in a position to win the game. So I got to give them credit.
Right side, third row.
John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. I mean, like you just said, you do give the Warriors credit for coming in here and doing what they do, but it seems like in these losses, there's a lot of stuff that you guys can control that you don't. Can you just explain why the ebbs and flows? That some games you control it, and some games that you just can't.
You know, John, it's kind of been us, this whole playoff, run. I mean, it's one of those things that it's like, we feel like we kind of got it put together. Now our backs are against the wall, and this team, we've shown all year with our backs are against the wall. We have to come out and respond, and obviously it's a big challenge ahead, but it's something that we have to, and I've said it before. I sound repetitive, but we're gonna have to look at this film. We're gonna have to figure out how we can be better and come out and be better.
Second row in the middle, Gary.
Gary Washington, Boston Globe. It seemed like from the opening quarter, the offense was just stagnant. Guys are looking at each other. Marcus is dribbling, looking for guys to move. Guys aren't moving. Sometimes it seems like some guys didn't know the play. Like, what happened, and how tough is it to try to get the offense going when it just seems like from the start it's not?
No, you're right. You're right. I think it was, very stagnant. For whatever reason, we just weren't executing like we needed to offensively. And despite that, I felt like we were in good positions. We had good opportunities, but you're absolutely right. I think from the beginning, we just couldn't really get it going like we wanted to.
Second row on the right.
Natasha Peña abriendo el juego República Dominicana. Hay dos partidos acá en Boston. Muchos dominicanos vinieron a ver a los Celtics y a ti. Mucha prensa vino a cubrir allá, desde el país. ¿Cómo te sentiste personalmente al verte en este nivel en una final y ver el apoyo de tus compatriotas?
Me siento muy especial y me siento muy orgulloso y aprecio ese apoyo, de ese sacrificio de ustedes, de toda la gente que ha venido para acá, que está aquí en Boston y que me está siguiendo, que está siguiendo a Boston. Eso es algo que a mí me llena de mucha felicidad, de mucho orgullo, de saber que nos están apoyando y que están aquí. Y muchos aquí en el juego. Yo vi las banderas hoy, vi la gente representando y me sentí muy bien con eso. Obvio, nos hubiese gustado ganar este juego, pero ahora nos toca hacerlo en la ruta.
On the left side, second row.
Abby Chin, NBC Sports Boston. Al, I think the way Ema put it is you guys have had to do it difficult. You don't seem fazed by that, though. I mean, is it frustrating, or are you enjoying this challenge?
I feel like all year we've had to put our heads down and go to work, and I've said it before. Winning is hard. Winning is hard, and we do it. And there's moments, but we're growing as a team, as a group still, even now. So this is another challenge, another opportunity for us to embrace this and be better.
We're going to take two more questions on the right side, third row.
John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. Al, there's no more than 3 games left in the season. How much does that change the approach to these final 2 or 3 games for you guys, where there's nothing beyond that?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at Game 5, just focusing on that game. We'll get to San Francisco tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have a film session, and we'll start preparing. Getting ready and prepared for Monday, and all our energy, all our focus is right there. So that's the way that we're going to approach it.
Last question. Thank you, Al.
First question for Andrew. Anyone?
Andrew, 16 rebounds. Early on in the game, they were kind of controlling the glass. Is there something that clicked? Is there something that you heard, something you saw? What led you to attack like that?
I just know last game they had, out rebounded us and, got a lot of offensive rebounds. And so today I just wanted to come in and, be aggressive on the board, and try to help out.
Shane, middle.
Andrew, Shane Young with Ford Sports. What's going through your mind in that second half, particularly in the fourth quarter when they're swarming Steph and he's still getting off great looks and knocking them down?
All you can do is watch. When Steph has the ball, sometimes you just watch and see what he does. He's that type of player. They can go get his own and get everyone involved. But it was an intense fourth quarter. It was a good competitive fourth.
Question from Kendra up front.
Andrew, you guys outscored the Celtics 15-0 in crunch time. What kind of from your guys' defense has changed or really locked in for that final stretch?
We're helping each other out. We're helping each other out, playing together, playing aggressively on the defensive side, and most importantly, just closing out, grabbing rebounds. No offense rebounds, didn't get second chance points, so that was big.
Any other questions for Andrew? Ooh, plenty of questions. We'll go to Steve right to the left.
Steve Ashburn, NBA.com. Given the condition or unknown of Steph's foot, how much did you wonder what you might get out of him today? And when did you know, oh, yeah, this is okay?
To be honest, as soon as he steps on the court, I just think Steph's going to be Steph, regardless of who we're playing, how he's feeling. I feel like if he steps on the court, he's ready. He's going to go out there and dominate like he did tonight.
Go to Maddie on the right here.
Draymond and Jordan Poole have both, and Clay, not Jordan Poole, have both talked about how you guys all need to step up, to help Steph going forward, because he kind of really willed this one. What is kind of the conversations about that, in preparation for Monday?
Yeah, we all just got to do our part. We have a lot of guys that can go in the game and affect the game in different ways, and right now everything is needed. Whatever anybody has to give, you don't want to look back, a couple weeks from now and be like, I should have done that, I should have done that. You got to leave it all on the floor.
Last few questions for Andrew. Go to Anthony in the back.
Yeah, in your career, you've averaged somewhere around like 4 or 5-ish rebounds a game. In these playoffs, I think you're up over 7 now. What do you think has kind of unlocked that part of your game even more?
I want to win, and I know rebounding is a big part of that. I just want to win, and I feel like sometimes we play small. So I just try to go in there, and rebound, help the team out.
Final question, Dan in the middle.
Fine from the Ringer. Draymond has a lot of focus on the shots that he's missing or that hasn't been able to get to. But what else are you seeing from him when you're out there? I know that there's in and out of the game in the fourth quarter, but what did you see from him when he was out there tonight?
His energy, he's still going to be Draymond. His energy is going to be 100%. He's still going to be on the floor, on the defensive side. Locking up, making plays, and he's still coaching guys on the floor. He's still the anchor.
Thanks, Andrew.
We'll start on the right side, second row.
Nicole de Peña from Dominican Republic. With only 24th year, you playing in the NBA Finals, and you are being one of the stars of the team. Some teammate inspired you in your way to playing, and how was this experience been for you?
It's been great. Just trying to stay in the moment, not think about it too much. Obviously, we got a job to do, so just kind of thinking of it as just another game. Not get too high, about it.
In the second row in the middle, Gary Washburn.
Jason, Gary Washburn, Boston Globe. It seemed like you were looking for fouls, and it seemed like you're not getting the calls regardless if you're fouled or not. What can you do to get yourself going offensively to make it the game easier? Because they're really trying to stop you, and it seems like you were getting frustrated in that second half, especially the fourth quarter.
You know, when I do have space and I'm open, I gotta take the shot. Obviously, anytime that I hold it too long, they load up and things like that. So I think just quick decisions. Don't turn down any open looks any daylight that I have, and just continue to try to make the right pass. I had too many turnovers a night, but I think just make quicker decisions.
We'll go to the back row on the left side.
Hi, excuse me, Tara Sullivan from the Boston Globe. Jason, does it feel like you guys let one slip away, or did they take it in the fourth? How do you feel at the end of that one?
It's tough. I mean, you gotta give them credit. They played well. They hit some big shots, things like that. We obviously felt like we had put ourselves in a position to win the game, and there's a lot of things that we wish we'd have done differently. Especially on the offensive end, I think we just got way too stagnant late in the fourth from everybody. But it's a new series, so best of three. Get some sleep and get on this long ass flight tomorrow.
We'll go stay on the left side, sixth row.
Jason, Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. They're really packing the paint when you get the ball in your hands. How do you think you guys can create some more space for you to score in the paint? I know you're driving and kicking quite a bit, but how can you guys create space for you to be able to score?
I don't think that's the problem. I feel like I can get my shot off whenever. It's just making the right play throughout the course of the game, and not necessarily just staring. Sometimes we get it, and then we all did it at times. Just got to move. I think that's when we're most effective, when everybody is moving. We move the ball really well, but it's hard to move the ball. We just kind of standing there.
On the left side, fifth row, Jay King.
Ema thought that you guys might have hunted mismatches too much and gotten stagnant during those moments. But obviously, you're going to keep doing that, looking for the right matchup. How do you handle that better personally to get the offense going in those moments?
Yes, it's just a balance. You don't want to do it every single play because hopefully you're getting stops and running down transition. But even when you do find the mismatch or, what you want, some guys to still be moving, on the backside and not just standing and watching, setting screens, flares, slipping and things like that. Because it's hard to just kind of score in isolation every single time.
On the right side, third row.
Jason, John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. It seems like historically you tend to like to get the ball and slow down and kind of assess and figure out how to attack. How much different has it been over the course of this year, in the course of the series, to get into that mindset of constantly trying to make those quick decisions rather than just say, okay, here's what I'm looking for. I'm going to try to do this.
I think I said a lot. It's just each play is kind of different. I think more so when I answer Gary's question about shooting it quick and making quick decisions, that's if somebody dribble and kicks it out to me. That's when I got to be quicker. But initiating the offense, kind of scanning the floor and trying to put guys in certain positions, obviously takes a little more time. So, it just depends. Time and score, scenario, things like that.
On the left side, second row to Abby.
Abby Chin, NBC Sports Boston. Jason, that indecisiveness and for you struggling to find a rhythm in this series, is that the Warriors defense? Are they doing anything different, or is it you?
You gotta give them credit. They're a great team. They're playing well. They got a game plan, things like that. But it's on me. I gotta be better. I know I'm impacting the game in other ways, but I gotta be more efficient. Shoot the ball better, finish at the rim better. So I take accountability for that, And I just look forward to, Monday. Um, leave this one behind us, learn from it, watch the film, things like that. But, everybody probably feels like they got to be better, myself included. Um, just go get it on Monday.
We're going to take two more questions on the right side, second row.
Sweet, you throw out a mess live. Just Jason, we've talked a lot about just resiliency, and you guys haven't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs. Like, well, we also have talked about how you guys make life harder than it needs to be. I guess do you ever get sick of that, or do you just take it in stride? Like, how do you kind of deal with that?
Deal with what?
Making life harder than it needs to be.
I mean, we don't do this shit on purpose. I promise you we don't. We trying as hard as we can, but we do, like, there's certain things that we got to clean up, obviously, turnovers, movement on the offensive end. Would we have liked to win today and be up 3-1? That would have been best case scenario, but it's the finals. And, in the art of competition, they came in here with, no feeling like they had to win. I mean, it wasn't easy. And I think that's it's kind of the beauty of it. That it is not going to be easy, and it shouldn't be. We both want it, and we got to go take it.
Final question on the right side, fourth row.
Hi, Jason. Karen Gregan with the Boston Herald. You said it's on you to be better. Is it possible you're putting too much pressure on yourself to be better?
No. I think that was just as simple as it is. Like, I just got to be better. I know I can be better, so it's not like myself or my team is asking me to do something I'm not capable of. They know the level, and I know the level that I can play at, and it's kind of on me to do that more often than not. Just to help my team in the best way that I can. So it's not too much pressure at all. It's kind of like my job.
Thank you very much. We'll start on the right side, second row.
Jalen, we heard some MVP chants from the fans tonight. Do you mentally feel like you have been the MVP of this series?
I don't know how to answer that question. Next question.
We'll go to the middle to Gary Washburn, second row.
Jalen, it seemed like the offense was kind of grinding all night, just trying to get into some kind of chemistry, and then it kind of shut down late in the fourth quarter. What happened to the offense, and how do you guys get it going when it's kind of apparent, when their defense kind of steps up and responds?
We just got to stay organized, and that's on, our veteran players to get us organized in those moments. And at times we get unorganized and kind of get on top of each other. The spacing kind of closes down, and that's where some of those turnovers come from. And we got to do a better job.
On the left side to Jay.
You often bring up the spacing after things go wrong with your offense. What is the issue that you see that keeps popping up, and why has that been a persistent issue?
Well, you just answered your own question. Spacing, when things go wrong, that tends to be, offensively, some of the things that we don't do well. We don't get space. We kind of don't take our time, and we kind of get a little bit sped up. And we just need to get more settled in those moments, get more control, get more organized, and I think things will be better for us, in those moments. We kind of get a little bit sped up.
We'll stay on the left side, third row.
Boy, man, CLNS Media. Jalen, late in the game defensively against Curry there, what kind of broke down on that, a few of his shots and some of the offensive rebounds they got? And do you feel like you have to adjust to cover him differently?
We could have done our job better, but give credit to him. He's one of the best players in the world. He's been here before, and he had a role in the night. Big performance by him, but we got to do a better job of containing, and it's tough. It's hard, but we know we ain't ever said it was supposed to be easy. So we just get ready for the next game. That's it.
On the right side, fifth row.
When Al was out here before, he was saying that even in these moments, deep in the season, you guys are continuing to learn and evolve. And a lot of the stagnation, you talked about getting rushed. Oftentimes, you guys late in games, especially when you have a lead, will come down and run down the clock and then try to kind of rush into actions late. Then when you see guys like Steph just kind of coming down and firing really quickly in transition and crunch time, do you feel like you guys need to learn how to maybe not try to wind the clock down and try to start earlier?
Yeah, overall, every experience that we have, we've learned and grown. So these opportunities right now, playing at the highest level on one of the biggest stages, is also moments to learn. And sometimes nights like tonight, it's tough to intake. Tough loss on our home floor. But we got to have a short-term memory, get ready for the next game, and come out and play Celtic basketball.
We're going to stay on the left side, sixth row. Okay, we're going to go to right side, third row.
Jalen, John Corrales, Boston Sports Journal. I know you guys are going to focus specifically on Game 5, but you only have at most 3 games left in your season. Does knowing that there's nothing beyond this next week change any of the preparation or what you're trying to put, like the limits that you're going to put yourself to?
No, we know where we're at right now. We know it's the NBA Finals. We know it's no series after this. This is it. So I think everybody on our team is aware of that. So we just got to come out and play Celtic basketball.
2 more questions. Okay, right up front.
Brian Rob, Mass Live. Jalen, Jason's had a tough shooting night. He's had a tough shooting series inside the arc. Beyond just the spacing, how can you guys kind of help him out on that front, if anything? And what's the message you have to him through this series so far?
Just get more organized, watch film, try to find, spots to be aggressive, and trying to see where our best looks are. At times, like in moments we need most, we rely on Jason to be aggressive, and we got to help him out by, being in a position to be, spaced and successful. So we watch the film and use it as an opportunity to get better, and I'm looking forward to that.
1 more question. Thank you, Jalen.
We'll get started in the middle here with CJ.
CJ Holmes, San Francisco Chronicle. Steph, first off, how's the foot feeling? And secondly, for a performance like that tonight, how meaningful was that for you? And, how did it feel to come into Boston and tie the series up?
It means everything, knowing the sense of urgency we had to have tonight to, win, win on the road and keep some life in the series, get a home court advantage back, and try to create some momentum our way. It was a hard-fought win. I think our first quarter really set the tone. Even though we were down 1, there's night and day difference between Game 3 and Game 4, how we came out defensively. And that just gives you enough life to kind of withstand some rough patches. And then, find some runs. We get some stops, get out in transition, guys get involved. And, you gave yourself a chance to win it down the stretch. So proud of everybody in terms of our physicality, our focus, perseverance throughout the game. 2-2 is way better than 3-1 going home. So, job well done tonight.
Kendra up front.
Country Andrews, ESPN. Steph, Clay said, there are 2 questions. First, Clay said that he ranks this as your #1 finals performance. Do you kind of agree with that? And then 2, Draymond said he could kind of tell by your demeanor the past couple of days that you were going to bring some extra fire tonight. Did you feel something like that brewing over the last couple of days since the loss?
Yeah, just again, it's kind of how we wanted to start the game. We rely on Draymond bringing that energy and fire, throughout the course of the season, and year after year. Felt like, we just had to let everybody know that we were here tonight, and whether that's their crowd, their team, our team, whoever wants to see that energy and that fire, we feed off of that. Excuse me. And I think it helped us kind of just get settled into the game, because obviously our experience, you can want it so bad, you kind of get in your own way a little bit, and everybody feels a little bit of pressure, and it can go the opposite way. I wanted to try to leverage that in a positive direction for us to start the game.
Marcus?
I don't rank my performances though. Just win the game.
Marcus on the left.
Marcus Thompson, Athletic. Steph, that was clearly a golden performance by you. I was wondering.
And he's back.
I was wondering, have you ever gotten into like the crowd like that early in the game? You yelled at them, and you were flexing. You've done that before, but like normally later. What made you do it early, and how difficult was it to sit those first couple of minutes in your golden performance?
The fourth quarter? I take that as a good sign of how I feel physically, like with my foot, and just the low and intensity of the game, that I wanted to be out there to start the fourth. Just because I felt good, had a rhythm, and didn't feel tired at all. So I want to maintain that over the course of the rest of the series. But kind of the same answer as before, just we needed something to settle into the game to start, the game better and find some momentum and just change the tone of, how physical they were in game 3 and how we needed to respond game 4. It wasn't a perfect first quarter, but we gave ourselves enough life. And that fire was me just trying to show that we're here tonight and we understand what the task at hand is. And thankfully, we found a way to get it done.
Question in the middle.
Steph, Coley Harvey, ESPN. Not to really belabor the fire point, but for you, is this something that coming into the game a day or two before, is that something where you want to make sure that you send that message at that point? Is it, I guess, are you coming up with that plan going into the game, or is it just you feel what's going on the floor, in the crowd, and that kind of thing in the game?
It's both, for sure. A lot of it is because of how hostile the environment was, the fans chanting, doing all their, shenanigans and all that. Boston knowing how big of a game it is for them. If they get the win, they take, control of the series. So it's all that mixed into, and the experience knowing how fickle momentum is in the finals. We've been through it all, so try to rely on past experience to understand how important that was.
David on the left.
David Aldridge, The Athletic. Steph, I know that you guys trust Steve and that Steve trusts you guys, but was there, when you come out in a gotta have it fourth quarter and you don't see Draymond out there, was there any part of you that went, huh?
What part of, I don't even know what part of the game.
Fourth quarter.
To start the fourth quarter?
Well, no, when he came
just
out. Yeah, and then was out for 4 or 5 minutes there.
I think it's an understanding of how things can change in a series. And like you said, there is so much trust in how we do things and decisions that coach makes, and what responsibility falls on us as players. That, Loon went in there, dominated the paint, got some big rebounds, created a presence. Draymond came back in and, had some juice and some life on the defensive end. So, we obviously understand it's just about winning. At the end of the day, all decisions are, predicated on that being the goal. And I know we've all been on the side where it doesn't go your way from the top all the way to the bottom. It's not fun. It's not something you readily accept, but you understand the big picture. And obviously, especially when it pays off. So it's more so the trust in Loon and what he's able to do than any kind of like situation with Draymond.
Kylan in the middle.
Hey, Steph, Kylan with Cron 4 News in San Francisco in the back here. Exactly how much pain were you feeling in that left foot? Were there any certain plays or movements where you noticed it? And then how were you able to play through it?
Great rehab, medical staff hooking me up the last 2 days, getting me right. I think for the most part, I didn't think about it. Like, I don't know how to explain the pain. It's more so just when you're out there, you don't compensate or it doesn't take up too much mental space in terms of, feeling like I can do whatever I want to out on the court. So hopefully that continues with these next 2 days off and get ready for Game 5.
Last couple of questions for Steph. Anthony in the back.
Yeah, Anthony Slater, The Athletic. It's felt at times in this series that you needed more help offensively. What did you think of Andrew and Jordan, particularly in the fourth? Seemed like they just kind of got big buckets when you guys needed it.
Clay hit a big one too. Everybody stepped up, and I think we were much more composed in the fourth quarter, trying to figure out what shots we were trying to create. And I think I had the one turnover right when I got back in, and then after that we just settled in and used their aggression against them. Finding open man, making a simple play, and every guy you named stepped up. So we're gonna need more of that, obviously, to get 2 more wins. And with JP, Wiggs, Clay, all those guys are more than capable of creating. No matter what moment of the game it is, and thankfully they did that tonight.
Final question up front.
Dan Feldman, NBC Sports. You obviously always carry a major load offensively. Do you feel the need in this situation to assert yourself even more than usual?
I think it's kind of constant throughout the game, just trying to put pressure on their defense and keep your foot on the gas pedal. There are times where you feel like you have to kind of be more aggressive to score, just based on the flow of the game and how they're guarding us and where I can see some advantages. But also we understand they're a great defensive team that, you can't, your normal sets or just the normal flow probably isn't going to be there for the media game just because they're, that's what they're good at and how they dominate games on that end of the floor. So those are the times where you can be a little bit more aggressive, try to, let's say, force the issue a little bit. That doesn't always mean shoot, but it means just, attacking, being aggressive, finding lanes, doing it over and over and over again.
Thanks, Steph.
All I hear, yeah. Ain't talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. I be getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking Ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch the cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the really all know. Shop don't close, working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show. Couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF. 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo! Fuck your feelings, we all know who the